Hopefully, this is the last time I have to talk about this nonsense. What is this nonsense, you may ask? It is that scam, cult, pseudo-religion of a union/guild, SAG-AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild. I made so many videos about this. On both the YouTube and the Rumble page, which you can also find Rumble exclusive content over there. And yet, I won't say people aren't getting it, because they are. I don't get anywhere near the vitriol, the hatred, the venomous feedback I was getting when I posted videos about how this was all nonsense and bullshit from the very start. But more so now, even their own actors are starting to be more vocal and talk about it. Let's do a brief recap. The WGA, the Writers Guild, and the SAG, the SAG, Screen Actors Guild, both went on strikes pretty much simultaneously, both vowing to support one another, both agreeing to not work until the demands are met for both unions. Well, the WGA, after a bit of a contentious final few hours, sat their happy ass down and got a deal done, because they knew the studios weren't playing at bullshit anymore. And now, with that said and done, they still remain work free. They still maintain their work stoppage in support and unification and solidarity with SAG-AFTRA. Now, early on, SAG-AFTRA were called out by a couple of, I won't say A-listers, but solid B-plus list stars. Like here, Sarah Silverman, who questioned the validity of the strike and the preferential treatment of certain actors in the strike when she found out that the work stoppage wasn't exactly a work stoppage as it was portrayed, that there were some actors allowed to continue working on films. She said, hey, paraphrasing, we're either unified and we're not working, or we're scabbing. Which one is it? That was shortly followed up by Zachary Levi, star of DC Comics Shazam movies and one of my favorite former shows, Chuck. And he spoke on how stupid it is to have the restriction that actors couldn't speak on any films going out during the cons, because many actors do enjoy going out on the con circuit. And it was so stupid that not only could they not talk about current films or projects that they're working on or have yet to be released, but they couldn't speak on from decades ago. Zachary Levi couldn't even speak about his old and gone off the air show Chuck because of union rules. That even spread to Stephen Amell, Arrow from the Arrowverse, WB show, or CW show. Even he thought that this was stupid. And all three of them, Sarah Silverman, Stephen Amell, and Zachary Levi, all came back and quickly clarified their statements. Translation, they got scolded behind the scenes by guild leadership, because what they said initially is right. It's f***ing stupid. It is straight up idiotic. Okay, you want to say that we can't talk about current or upcoming things? fine. I would even agree that. But to say I can't talk about that's off the air, been off the air for 10, 15 years? What level of stupid is that? Come on. But it is what it is. It was what it was. It shall be what it shall be. Like I said, the guild, the cult, the pseudo-religion, because that's how they're behaving now. And if you don't believe me, check out some of the restrictions that they put out there as the strike started to drag on and they weren't getting anywhere. The studios weren't caving. They started to put restrictions on people like myself, YouTube creators, content creators. They did it the old mafia style. It'd be a shame that if you guys do promotion for films, it'd be a shame if you suddenly couldn't get into the Actors Guild if you wanted to. Sure would be a shame if you couldn't join the union, you know. That's a protection racket. You know how the back in the day? Be a damn shame if something happens to this fine establishment of yours. That's how the guild acts. They're doing that because they knew and know they're not winning. Nobody is buying their bullshit. And I hate to tell you, but big content creators don't give a about your union. They honestly don't give two about your union. I'm small now. I won't be small for long. And when I get to that point and I meet whatever fabricated bullshit credentials that you need to meet to join the Actors Guild, I'm going to politely tell you, go yourself with a sick. But that's what they do. They even try to expand their strike in solidarity to voiceover actors. Oh, you know, the voiceover actors are getting screwed too. They need to join us in solidarity. If your position is so strong, if your cause is so righteous, why do you need all these little ancillary things to boost you? Why do you need content creators to stand with you in solidarity? We're not part of Hollywood. We don't give a about what y'all got going on. We're not going to see your millions. Voice actors, because most of the most famous voice actors are not Hollywood actors. So why should they give a But they need this because they know that there is strength in numbers and their position is weak. Even though they may have the numbers, it's a bullshit, fraudulent ass strike. It is. It's just a fraudulent strike that serves zero purpose. I will tell you what else, how petty this is. They even put bans on Halloween costumes. Costumes that you should not wear to stand in solidarity with the SAG-AFTRA strike. From the Hollywood Reporter, Barbie banned. Striking actors are given strict Halloween costume rules. Under newly announced Halloween costume rules from SAG-AFTRA, being seen online dressing as popular TV and movie characters is prohibited. Y'all did catch that, right? Newly announced rules. Because now they're grasping at straws. They have no leverage, no bargaining chip, no position, so they're looking for anything to try to get the studio's attention. And this just ain't working. In the article it says, the union is prohibiting actors from dressing up as popular characters from struck content and then posting the images on social media. Who the are you? You've already told me I can't work. Now I can't enjoy myself with my kids on Halloween? Do you understand? I say again, this is a cult. It's a pseudo-religion. It's a different variation of the mob. They tell you what you can and cannot do. This is the definition of you don't need a union here. Considering that the highest grossing, the A-list actors and even some of the B-plus list actors set their own wage. They make their own deals. Remember the whole male actors get paid more than their female co-stars? Because depending on your draw, you get a chance to set terms to your contract. You set how much money you're going to make. You negotiate that individually with the studio, how much they're going to pay you. So what the the purpose of the union? You can't say child labor laws because that's what that state's labor laws are for. That's a state regulated thing. So what the is the point of the WGA and the SAG other than to put money in their own pockets? And if you don't believe that, check out the backlash that they got when they put out these dumbass, and I mean absolutely dumbass, Halloween rules from my man Ryan Reynolds, who posted on X. I look forward to screaming scab at my 8-year-old all night. She's not in the union, but she needs to learn. Because that's how idiotic this sounds. That's how drop dead asinine this is. It even got to the point where the former head of SAG-AFTRA, Melissa Gilbert, you may know her as Laura Ingalls Wilder from Little House on the Prairie. Literally no one cares what anyone wears for Halloween. I mean, do you really think this kind of infantile stuff is going to end the strike? We look like a joke. Please tell me you're going to make this rule go away and go negotiate. Mandy Moore, in case you don't know who that is, famous singer from the late 90s, early 2000s. You probably know her better from her role in the NBC hit show This Is Us. Mandy Moore said in a post, "Is this a joke? Come on, SAG-AFTRA. This is what's important? We're asking you to negotiate in good faith on our behalf. So many folks across every aspect of this industry have been sacrificing mightily for months. Get back to the table and get a fair deal so everyone can get back to work." Now, what SAG-AFTRA said, because they said they had to go back and clarify, and they actually said, our rule does not apply to anyone's kids. SAG-AFTRA responded, "We are on strike for important reasons and have been for nearly 100 days. Our number one priority remains getting the studios back to the negotiating table so we can get a fair deal for our members and finally put our industry back to work." Sounds reasonable. Sounds great. Okay. Well, at the negotiating, the studios apparently walked away from the table. They suspended negotiations after SAG-AFTRA pretty much denied the deal that was there. Well, not fully denied. Let's get into that, shall we? Here is what the studios offered SAG-AFTRA. Just a few high points, a few highlight points. A first of its kind success-based residual for high-budget streaming productions. The highest percentage increase in minimums in 35 years, which would generate an additional $717 million in wages and $177 million in contributions to pension and health plans during the contract terms. They also got a 58% increase in salaries for major role guest star performers on high budget streaming. A 76% increase in streaming foreign residuals for the 4 largest streaming services. A substantial increase in pension and health contribution caps ranging from 22 to 33%, which will make it easier for performers to qualify for additional periods of health coverage and earn years of service toward a pension. Meeting nearly all the union's demands on casting, including guardrails around self-tapes, options for virtual and in-person auditions, and accommodations to performers with disabilities. Clearly stated, meeting nearly all the union's demands on casting. 2 more things I want to hit. Wage increases for stunt coordinators of 10% in the first year and outsized increases in years 2 and 3, and giving television stunt coordinators fixed residuals for the first time ever. I don't think people really understand that. I've led a life, and in that life I've met, I think, 2 stunt performers here in North Texas, Dallas to be exact. It's a pretty popular filming place, and I've met a couple of stunt actors, and that is freaking phenomenal, because the things that they put themselves through, the things they put their bodies through, for them to get residuals, I had to applaud the studios on that. Because have y'all ever thought about giving a stuntman residuals? Think about that. We know actors get them, but have y'all ever thought about the stunt people getting residuals? The studios put it on the table. And finally, to address these AI fears, to address the AI fears that actors are having, they put this in place. AI protections, advanced consent from the performer and background actor to create and use digital replicas. Prohibition of later use of that replica unless performer specifically consents to new use and is paid for it, along with other things. I wanted to hit those last two. You can go to the Deadline site, check out the entire list for yourself. So, what was the hang-up, you may ask? What was it that made the studios get up and walk away? What about this deal wasn't sweet enough for SAG-AFTRA to sign off on it? I'm glad you asked. SAG-AFTRA asked for a subscriber fee via The Hollywood Reporter. How audacious is SAG-AFTRA's subscriber fee ask? Really? Studios call it a bridge too far. Actors say it's a concession. Experts weigh in on the Guild's proposal for a small piece of every streaming service. Oh, of every streaming subscription. What they literally threw in at the last minute. SAG-AFTRA decided they wanted a percentage off every single subscriber that the streamers had.
This bitch can't be serious.
I will say again, everybody that is subscribed, for every monthly fee that you pay, SAG-AFTRA feels that they are entitled to a percentage of that.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Not the work that they've done, not the acting, not the performing, but they want additional money for everybody that is subscribed to a service.
You done lost your damn mind.
Here it says, the ask, a revised version of a previous revenue sharing proposal that the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers had rejected, prompted hyperbolic remarks on both sides. A bridge too far, said Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos, while SAG-AFTRA's chief negotiator conversely deemed the adjusted proposal a huge concession. That the studios claimed the proposal would cost more than $800 million per year, while the union fired back that the aforementioned estimate was intentionally misrepresented by the company and overstated by 60%. Let's stop right there. The fact that that deal, that is even on the table, is preposterous. If you don't believe me, I want y'all to look at it in this light. How would y'all feel if you owned a fast food chain, McDonald's? At McDonald's, you know you're paying salaries, you're paying for the products, you're paying for insurance, you're doing all the pay. Okay, you're the owner. You got to pay for the maintenance, you got to pay for the salaries, you got to pay for the new fryers, the ice cream machines ain't never working. You got to pay for all that shit. Okay? Then your workers come to you and tell you that they want a raise for every person that walks through that door. They tell you they want a raise commensurate with every person that they serve. If you don't tell those employees to go themselves, something is wrong with you.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
There is under no logical, rational, or reasonable person is going to say, why should I pay you more for what I'm generating? You're getting paid for exactly what you do. But nah, this was SAG-AFTRA's hang-up, and they snuck it in at the last minute. Now here's what SAG-AFTRA is saying about it. That it ends up amounting to less than 57 cents per subscriber per year. The union maintains, as it does not cover all content on that platform. The studios claim that the union proposed $1 per subscriber per year in the negotiating room and then later cut that figure.
You serious?
That's what I said. The money generated by this arrangement would then go into a fund managed by representatives from both SAG-AFTRA and management, whose trustees will determine how to distribute the funds. So the money that they want, that they're trying to tax the streamers for, isn't even going to the people that they claim to be helping and representing. It reads, it's still to be determined whether viewership metrics will play a role into that distribution and which performers would be eligible to receive payment from the fund. For example, would stunt performers or background actors get a share, which would be subject to negotiation. The fact that even came to the negotiating table I 100% support the studios. I would have got up, walked out, and not said to you. So just so I get this straight, the actors want the money they get for they hired, the $15-20 million for acting. Then they want the residuals for every time it is shown, seen, a Blu-ray bought, every time it's digitally downloaded. Okay, I can respect that. But then, think about this for a minute, they want to charge subscribers who may never watch their film. Think about that. I have Netflix. I haven't watched half the movies on there. But I'll be paying Jane Doe X amount of dollars. I'll be paying SAG-AFTRA X amount of dollars for films that I've never watched. Who does that? That's idiotic. But that's what they've done, and that's why the studios walked away, and they were damn right to. Let me say this as I close it out, and hopefully for the final time. I am going to give you a prediction the same way I predicted the way that the WGA strike ended, except this one's going to be a bit harsher. Remember the line I read to y'all from Melissa Gilbert, who said, "This is what you guys come up with, literally no one cares"? Well, Melissa Gilbert is the former president of SAG-AFTRA. Prediction: she will be back in charge again. Fran Drescher needs to ride this all the way out because she's done. I think Fran Drescher's done. The leadership will be completely redone. And when they come back to the negotiating table, because they're going to let Fran finish off this mess. It's her mess, clean this up. When it's done, if, best case scenario, listen to me, y'all, prediction from your man, Big Brother Tucker. If this deal is done, at best, it's going to be the same deal that I just read to y'all, showed y'all, that's on the Deadline site. That's best case scenario. That they're going to get that deal with no subscriber fees, with not that extra subscriber levy bull, guaranteed. Best case scenario is they get that old deal minus the subscriber fee. What I believe is more likely, they finna cut a whole bunch of that out. All the percentages and residuals and that get cut. Because you can't go to a negotiation, try to punk them, completely blindside them, disrespect them, and then expect them to come to y'all with the same thing, offer y'all the same deal.
Fuck no!
No, because now they know your people are turning on you, which means you're now under pressure to get a deal done. And with that in mind, if I'm a boss, that 33%, that's down to 12 now, 15 max. I'm cutting that half. So best case scenario, they get that deal that was on the table a few weeks ago. But what I believe is more likely to happen, they get a worse deal. Thanks to y'all leader, Fran Drescher. Final word. SAG-AFTRA and the WGA were never needed. And you people that pay into this shit, I hope you're paying attention and get the out. I hope you were entertained and informed by that video. If you have something to say, got some thoughts on it, be sure to leave a comment down below. I ask that you share it out, spread the word. If you want to hear me bumping my gum some more, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a video and you can hear more of me chow-chacking. Please remember that these are exclusive videos on YouTube and Rumble. What you get on one spot, you may not get at the other. So follow me on both sites to get the full effect of Free Mind Thinkers. And until next time, remember to stand up, stand out, think differently. Holla.